You cannot change. You will always be a monster.
Welcome to MojoPlays, and hold on to your axes, hammers, and blades, because we're looking at the 10 greatest Kratos moments. It's hard to argue a cooler character with more epic moments than the God of War himself, and we're here to prove why. Let's do it. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. Defeating Colossus, God of War 2. Kratos is almost always the strongest in the room, which forces his opponents to resort to trickery in order to dominate him. Kratos faces a significant disadvantage in the Colossus of Rhodes fight as Zeus drains his powers and transfers them into the statue. Tricky bastard. While made weak, he can't rely solely on brute force and must instead find an alternate approach to defeating this giant piece of stony garbage. This leads him to strategically shove his way inside the Colossus, ultimately destroying him from within. I have about 10 jokes related to this that I can't use, but trust me, they're hilarious. While Kratos is known for his raw strength, this battle highlights his intelligence, which is almost too often forgotten. He's not a regular gym bro, he's a gym doctor.
Do you see, gods of Olympus? Do you need more proof than this?
Letting his daughter go, God of War, Chains of Olympus.
Persephone, wife of Hades, and queen of the undead.
Where is my daughter, witch?
Choose your words carefully, Ghost of Sparta. You address the goddess of the underworld.
In the less known PSP entry in the series God of War Chains of Olympus, a pretty significant and emotional Kratos moment takes place. Kratos is given the chance to reunite with his daughter if he surrenders his weapons and enters Elysium. And for those not locked in with the God of War history, one of the earliest things that happens in Kratos lore is killing his wife and daughter in a rage, albeit unintentionally. However, this choice to reunite would also lead to the destruction of Olympus and Elysium along with it. Realizing the consequences, Kratos makes the heartbreaking decision to let his daughter go. As she clings to his legs, pleading for him to stay, he forces himself to push her away. Without looking back, he walks away, choosing to leave her behind forever. I'll be back in a second. I've got to do something. I'm going to cry.
At that moment, Kratos knew his destiny was not with Calliope. The fates were never that kind.
Fighting Thor, God of War, Ragnarok.
About time. I've been waiting for this. You're not from here. We got a tradition.
In God of War Ragnarok, we kick off the game where the last ended, with the most terrifying foe of all, Thor, the heir to the throne of Asgard. We anticipated that he was unbelievably strong, so we assumed the fight would be hard, despite his beer belly and disheveled appearance. We waited 4 years for this moment, which made the battle even more amazing. Thor proves his might, quickly overwhelming Kratos with his immense strength. After a brutal encounter, Kratos faces certain death, only for Thor to shock him back to life so he can kill him again. While the final showdown with Thor is far more epic, this unexpected twist remains one of Kratos' most epic moments, even though he's the target for once. Going to face someone who killed him and brought him back a second time is as God of War gets.
Oh no. I say when we're done.
Facing Sigrun, God of War.
Violent rapids, there was a gentle stream. She healed the wounds of both mortals and...
When you first encounter a Valkyrie, chances are you'll be vastly underpowered for the fight. They're optional, but unbelievably fun, especially if you decide to do your first playthrough in hard mode. Like me. Line up, ladies. While no amount of strength will ever make these battles effortless, preparation and practice are key. Freeing the Valkyries is the goal of these battles, and once they're all released, you must face their formidable queen, Sigrun. Incredibly fast and relentless, she overwhelms Kratos with devastating attacks, proving to be a truly worthy adversary. It's a stark reminder of how far Kratos has come since his original trilogy, and also beating Sigrun is a great moment that you get to share with Kratos. Celebrate, because it's an incredible achievement. Killing Ares, god of war.
The desert of lost souls, bested the deadly traps of Pandora's temple, and escaped Hades itself. There was but one task left.
For this epic moment, we're jumping back in time. The final boss of the original God of War, Ares, is the very god Kratos has been hunting down from the get-go. Like many deities in this series, Ares underestimates those he sees as unworthy, a mistake that proves fatal as he underestimates Kratos, but in his defense, he'd only seen Kratos in one game. If it was 2018, he might have behaved differently. The battle spans multiple locations, with cutscenes showing Ares' failed attempts to manipulate Kratos. In the end, Kratos delivers the decisive blow, driving his blade through Ares' chest and making him look a bit like a kebab. Killing Baldur, god of war.
What's wrong? Something's happened.
There!
I had a feeling.
One of the best villains in the entire God of War series comes in the early stages of 2018's God of War reboot. From being introduced as the Stranger to later revealing himself as Baldur, Kratos' final battle with him is nothing short of heart attack inducing. What makes it even more challenging is the involvement of Freya, Baldur's mother, who intervenes in the only way she can, since her magic prevents her from harming anyone directly. Instead, she manipulates creatures and nature itself in an attempt to stop the fight between Baldur, Kratos, and Atreus. While battling Baldur alone would be difficult, Freya's interference elevates the encounter, making it one of the most tense battles in the whole series, with the inevitable end and loss of Freya as a friend feeling terrifying to approach.
Why do you even care? You could have walked away.
The cycle ends here. Must be better than this.
Fighting Kronos, God of War 3.
Enters my tomb, Kratos!
This is a boss fight that most players will never forget. The battle against Kronos is less of a traditional fight and more of an intense climb reminiscent of Shadow of the Colossus. As Kratos scrambles across the Titan's massive body, moving from one limb to the next, the journey to victory becomes more and more daunting. Eventually, he's swallowed whole, but once inside, he finally deals real damage rather than just leaving minor cuts. The battle reaches its brutal climax when Kratos tears his way out of Kronos' stomach, spilling his intestines before delivering the final blow through the Titan's head. So damn cool. It blows my mind when people don't like this series. Atreus remains God of War Ragnarok.
Son, you are ready.
Remember our promise.
Loki will go. Atreus remains.
At the end of God of War Ragnarok, after defeating Odin and witnessing Asgard's destruction, Kratos and Atreus share a heartfelt moment. Atreus reveals he must embark on his own journey to find the remaining giants, believing it to be his destiny. Though visibly emotional, Kratos supports his son's decision, embracing him before watching him leave. This is about where I ran out of tears and just cried dust. Left alone, Kratos then discovers a hidden mural foretelling a future where he is revered as a god of peace rather than destruction. Starting a new family was an unbelievable emotional risk for Kratos, and letting his son go after forming a bond most fathers and sons will only dream of is as amazing as a moment can get.
What did you see in there, brother?
Path.
Vengeance on Zeus, God of War 3.
My world, it bleeds because of you. I never sought your deaths, Vaughn. Yet you have left me no choice.
Your pawn has failed you, Gaia. Perhaps you should have chosen the other one.
As God of War 3 reaches its climax, Kratos finally exacts his revenge on his father, Zeus. And boy, was the wait worth it. While not the toughest battle compared to other gods, it remains an intense showdown, pushing Kratos to use everything he's learned throughout his journey across 3 games. The fight unfolds across multiple locations, with Zeus shifting forms, forcing Kratos and the player to adapt. Taking the fight directly to Zeus and ultimately defeating him cements Kratos' place as the ultimate godslayer in Greek mythology. Take your shiny bolt of lightning and shove it up your anus, Zeus. Blades of Chaos Reunion, God of War. 2018's God of War is a stark departure from its predecessors. The game follows an older, wearier Kratos as he strives to protect Atreus and honor his late wife. Unlike previous entries, it treads carefully when referencing Kratos' past, to the point where longtime fans felt betrayed that his history seemed washed away in pursuit of a newer story. That was until the perfect moment. Faced with overwhelming threats, Kratos realized he must reclaim his former power. What follows is one of the most emotionally charged scenes in the series. He retrieves the Blades of Chaos, slowly wrapping them around his wrists, sending shivers down players' spines. I'll be honest, I was a bit horny for Daddy Kratos.
There's one unavoidable truth you will never escape. You cannot change. You will always be a monster.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.